Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and it's Tuesday, January 18th, 2021, and I'm here a day late because I had forgotten we had the day off yesterday for Martin Luther King Jr. Day here in America. So my husband was home, my kids were home. We played a board game, watched some BattleBots, and just had a nice day. No time for filming. I did get some stitching done though, so this week was actually pretty good for stitching. I had a decent amount of time. What day was it? Sunday? I got a lot of time. So I was very excited about how much I got done on my project for Sunday. But every day I did a decent amount. I had so much fun working mainly on my Bringo challenges. Bringo is a monthly challenge here in January from the magazine monthly challenge group, and that they call a different square every day, and we work on that project for 100 stitches or 1 hour. And I was able to keep up on it. I didn't have to do any catch up. I was able to get it all done within the day it was called. So that was very nice. And finished something. So yeah, it was a good week. So let's start off first with a little bit of stash acquisitions. I received a Pass a Stash kit from Terry Lee Crafts. She's still Terry Lee Crafts on Instagram, I believe, but now she's part of the Absent Minded Stitchers here on Flosstube. She had this kit, and I had expressed interest back when she first showed it. I'm like, oh, that's really pretty, and I had put it on my wish list, but because it's a Russian kit and not readily available, I think it's on mybobbin.com, nobody had gotten it for me. She was decided to pass it on and sent it to me. So yay, I'm so excited. It came this week. It's called Cozy Corner by, is this Riolis in Russian? I'm not sure. Anyways, it's really pretty. It's on a printed fabric, but so just the background of the shelf is printed, but all of this is stitched. So it's not printed stitching like some Chinese kits are. I'll show you in a minute, but it has all the threads, super pretty colors. Smokey is here. Let's see. So yeah, really pretty thread colors. So nice. It looks like regular floss. I think on the outside it said Anchor Floss and Zweigart fabric. And this is the canvas, or the Ada. It looks like 14 count. It might say somewhere, yeah. Yeah, it's Ada, 14 count Ada, and an Anchor floss. So this is what the Ada looks like. So that bookshelf is printed, so you don't have to stitch that, but you stitch the flowers and the little perfume bottles and the teacups. And they have marks on this shelf and on this shelf to make sure that the items that are supposed to be sitting on the shelf end up in the right place. I like to work from the top down, and they recommend you start at one of these spots. So what I'm thinking I might do is start on this shelf, kind of tease my way to the top like I've been doing on like my the seasonal crosses, where I started in the middle and kind of worked my way quickly to the top and then complete from the top down. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, it's super pretty. So I'm excited about that. I don't have a set time of when I want to start this, but I'm gonna have to do that at some point. So thank you, Terry. That was really sweet. I'll put it to good use. And then I was watching a cat. Her name is really long. And Katharina, I'll maybe write it on the screen if you want her Flosstube channel. She was showing her projects, and I don't think she's filmed in a little while. So I was excited to see her update again. And she stitches a good amount of full coverage, so that's always exciting to see how much she can get done on things. And she shared a pattern from Pain Free Crafts that I fell in love with. And you know, if you've watched me for any length of time, I tend to be a sucker for seasonal designs. And she shared this pattern called Winter Montage by Janet Stever. And I thought that's really fun. It's for winter, but it has a Christmassy feel to it. There's a lot of holly and green and everything, red and green. But I liked the blocked look. It kind of reminded me of the Cooler Design Studio seasonal montages, only this is full coverage and that's got a lot of backstitching and, you know, different things in it. So, but I liked the block. So it was kind of like cat alphabet, which I've started recently, where I could maybe do a block at a time as I'm stitching. And I thought that looks really fun. So I went and researched it. And I like the other seasons even better. Here's spring. I went ahead and bought these. Couldn't help myself. Here's summer. So many fun things, and I think it will come together really nicely. And here's autumn. So you know I need a set of full coverage patterns, like I need a hole in the head, but I couldn't. I had to. So I think I really want to start them. They all have kind of a tanny vibe to them, a muted vibe. So I went ahead and got ordered some 28 count mushroom Lugana. So it's got a tan background. I think it'll be enough different from some of these colors that it won't be like white on white, but it won't show through either. So and I'm probably gonna do 1/1 full crosses, because these are similar to, again, cat alphabet, where it's more of a structured situation, and I think full crosses would be better than half stitches. So I went ahead and did the Lugana. I ordered a full yard. One of these will fit generously on a fat quarter when you do 2/2, or 1/1. On 28 count, 17 by 20 is what I would need at the minimum. So I'm excited. So when that comes in, I will probably be starting the first one in February, because I don't think I want to wait and have a start like this in December, because December can be pretty busy for me. And so even though it's Christmassy feeling, it's technically the winter one. So I'll start it in February, which is the last month of winter in the Northern Hemisphere. Kat is going to start this with me in February. So once we nail down a date, I'll let you guys know if you're crazy and want to start them with us. She's only got this one at the moment, but I'm planning to start all 4 of them this year. At least get a start on them in the month that they are in, kind of like I did my seasonal crosses. One of these days, I'm going to have to do like seasonal stitching rotation of some kind, because I've got quite a few of these. I actually also have some Teresa Wensler seasonal band samplers that I need to start. So many things to stitch. So I will let you know. I think I'm going to wait until the WIPGO numbers have been drawn for February, which is around the 27th of this month. So then I'll know kind of what I have to play with as far as scheduling my month of February, and then I'll kind of decide when I have a bigger chunk to give this several days to have a nice, decent start. So I'll kind of coordinate that with Kat as well, and then get back to you to see if what days we figured out. And I don't know, maybe we should come up with a hashtag of some kind that will cover all of them. So if people are working on one already, we can start to share and kind of see each other's progress. It's so fun. So anyways, I'm excited about that. So, let's see. Stitching. Hi, Smokey. Yeah. You still here? Yeah. Hello. All right. So let's start with travel stitching and my temperature pieces. So I am caught up on my Wander with Me. This is the cat paws version of temperature piece that I have for this year. There's also a dog paws version called Walk With Me. Because I'm a cat person, I'm doing the cat version, but I'll show the dog one every time as well, just because I know not everybody is a cat person. But I am doing mine 1/1 on 27 count Linda in Vintage Country Mocha. And this is how far I got. Got 2 more little paws stitched, and I got the cat tree finished. The very palest color kind of blends in with my fabric choice. but I'm okay with that. I thought the paw colors would look really nice on this tan fabric. So, yeah. So it's so cute. Yeah, so I'm excited. It's greens and blues for now, not really any purples. So hopefully we'll get down into some of the cooler temperatures again before the end of February sometime. So I can have some purples in there for the winter. It's always nice to be able to get to all the colors in the range. I'm using the hot range because I live here in Southern California. It's the one I usually use for, I actually designed it for my location, but it works well for other hot areas too. This one, I'm not caught up on this one, but I made some progress. So this is the temperature butterflies, and I'm stitching this retroactively for the year 2002, and for the year I got married. So I found the temperatures. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch this one butterfly at a time. This is on some mystery 32 count gray green even weave, and I got a few more links of thread in, a couple more, 2 or 3 more links of thread. I worked on this on Tuesday for Temperature Tuesday, got a length of thread in then, and I did a little bit more on Sunday, and I finished the thread out yesterday. Today is also Tuesday, so I'll probably put another length of thread in, but I'm hoping once I get the outline finished, my plan is to color complete within the butterflies. So I have my temperatures for the whole year because I'm using a year that's already occurred. So I'll pick day 1, and whatever color that is, it'll span, you know, I think my range, because I knew exactly how many temperatures, I think it ended up being a 2 to 3 degrees per color. So whenever that particular color occurs the rest of the butterfly, I'll just do all of it while it's on my needle and move on to the next color. So it'll be a little bit different look than completing it as as the temperatures occur, but I think it'll be fun. So that's the plan. I may need to work on this a little bit more in like travel stitching at some points and things like that to make sure I stay caught up. But right now I have something else that I want to work on if I have extra travel stitching time. So not this week, but hopefully I'll get close to the end of the February butterfly or January butterfly before the end of January. So, and this is my pretty project bag. It was made for me by Quilt and Stitch. You can find her on Instagram, so thank you. It's really pretty. And my travel piece that is finished is the Cozy Cafe Club. Yay! So this is the Frosted Pumpkin Stitcheries Mystery Stitch Along from 2021. It started in March and they released a different drink every month along with a portion of the border. So I have finally finished it. I worked on it all through the ballet line opportunities this past week, as well as during a call with my sister on Friday because she likes the Frosted Pumpkin also. And when did I actually finish it? On Friday. So I think I finished it up a little bit after, like in my normal stitching time, because I just had just a little bit left and went ahead and got it done. So I'm excited about that. This I think would make a cute project bag or something. So here is this one, all finished. This is 1/1 full crosses on 25 count vintage cloth in the color Prim. And I did all the call for DMC for the drinks. I used my own floss for the border, which were similar to called for, just a little bit variegated. And I made a few changes to make them all non-coffee drinks. So I did peppermint cocoa instead of mocha. I did pumpkin spice tea latte instead of just latte. And hot tea instead of coffee for the diner mug. So everything else is the same. I used petite beads for my stash. So they do call for a few beads. You can see like there's beads in the raspberries and these apples, on the donut sprinkles. There's a few little bead options. So I used similar things that I had in my stash. I didn't buy any new beads. They're not the same exact colors that were called for, but they're close. And I think it turned out really nice. So yay! Got that one done. My new travel piece for the month of for the year of 2022 that I'm going to work on throughout the year came into play for, I think, Sunday's stitching. So I'll wait until through my focus pieces. I'll wait to talk about that then. But I will go on to my Mill Hill Monday project. This one I worked on last Monday and yesterday, and it got called for Bringo, so I got a whole day of focus time on it as well, which was on Friday. It was my focus piece for Friday. So I got another hour and 20 minutes on Friday. So the Mill Hill Monday, I got 40 minutes this last Monday and only one strand of beads. This Monday, I didn't count it because it wasn't going towards a challenge of any kind this Monday. But I did an hour and 20 minutes as a focus piece on Friday, so that was fun. I'm almost done with the hummingbird. So, let's see. Here is this one. And I think it's turning out really nice. I worked on some beads in the flowers. There's still a few more beads down in this one, but I figured at least this flower is done. And there were those same beads in his throat. There's some green beads in his head and wing, and then I added some white beads along the bottom of his wing, and there's some white beads in here as well as some, there we go, some, oh, what do they call it? They're like cream, pearly color. What did they call those? Satin stone? Yeah, satin stone colored beads, as well as a lot of the lighter grays and ecru cross stitches in the wings as well, and the body. So there's a little bit of green stitching along here that's a lighter shade, and there's more white beads in here that I didn't do, as well as some green beads in the tail. And then the hummingbird is done, plus the rest of the background from here down and this flower. So there is still more to go, but I'm excited. Good progress this week. So that was fun to have it as a focus piece for one day. Enjoyed putting it on my Bringo board. And let's see, my first focus piece. So with Bringo, Carolyn over Carolyn Zook, or C Zook Stitches on Flosstube, she calls the numbers, or the number, the day before, so we have time to plan. And then, let's see, let's show you my board. And every prompt, you work on that project for 100 stitches or 1 hour. And I'm choosing the stitch count option if it's a pattern that's in Pattern Keeper, so then it'll count stitches for me. If it's not in Pattern Keeper, I'm doing the time option. I'll just set my timer, stopwatch feature on my phone, and call it good. So that's been working really well for me because it's nice to not have to worry about counting stitches when it's a paper pattern. So here is my board now. I almost have a bingo down here because this one got called for today. And so when I finish this, I'll have my first bingo. Yay! This one would have been a bingo, but I did not do a magazine news star. I did a different project that was not from a magazine. So I did not get this one. This one doesn't count. I will not be able to get a blackout either. But my first official bingo will be at the end of today if I can finish at least 100 stitches on the nativity, which last time this was called last Monday, which is a busy day. And so it's unfortunate that it got called again on a day I'm filming because I tend to have less time, but we'll hope for the best. Yeah, it was up here. Whip or new start with a flower or a tree. So that's the one that was called for Monday. And I only got 121 half stitches. Not great. But it's better than nothing. It was enough for the Bringo challenge, and I'm a little worried now about trying to get my 1,000 stitches for WIPGO, because this was a piece that was called for WIPGO, and I'm hoping to get 1,000 stitches on all of my full coverage pieces that are on that board. So we'll see, because that means I need to do a lot today and a lot the next time it's called. I only had this planned for 3 days in the month, so we'll see. I'm up here in the palm tree in the sky, so maybe worst case I can like move over and do a bunch of sky that's less confetti to get stitches faster. So that's a thought, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what I get to today when I'm working on it, because it got called again today. So here it is. Compared to last time, this is 28 count white Monaco, 2/1 half stitches. And I already had page 1 finished, and I was working up here in this section, filling in some of that dark gray. Only 121 stitches, so not a ton, but I'm hoping that as I creep over, maybe I'll pick a color that will have a lot. And this one also had a lot as well, so it went pretty fast. And hopefully I will get more today. I'm hoping for several hundred stitches if I can swing it. So that'll be good. So I have this one for today, and I also have it for one more Bringo challenge. So it will come out at least one more in the month of January. So we'll see how much I can get done on that one. And then the next day I did a little bit on my temperature butterflies, 1 strand on that, and then the pick for Bringo was a animal, whip or new start with an animal, and I did Dragon Ride because that's an animal. And I also used this for, I think, something with a mode of transportation for the Stitch Into the Wild Facebook group. And it's been fun because those challenges are all for 100 stitches or an hour also. So I could dovetail and do the same stitching, same pictures, before and afters in both groups. So that was fun. So he is clearly a mode of transportation. He's got a saddle and reins. It's called Dragon Ride. So this guy is going to ride him from place to place. So I used him for both of those. And I was able to work in the tail and then a little bit in his neck. Still have a long string on my needle. So here is where Dragon Ride is now. This is 28 count MCG Textiles even weave, and I'm doing it mostly 2/2. The man is charted 1/1. So as you know with Teresa Wentzler's, if you're familiar with them, there's lots of blends and quarter stitches, so that's fun actually for me. So I filled in this light blue along the tail and in here, and then I think I'm coming back with a darker blue as well. So there's just couple different shades of blue in there. So that was 40 minutes, so not a ton of time. Oh yeah, and then I did an additional 30 the next day just to make sure that I got enough for the Bringo challenge, because you need at least an hour. The next one that was called was Colors of the Seasons. And I'm seeing here that I also had Knitting Woman. This is when I started working on Knitting Woman again. So I have my Mill Hill Monday as a bonus piece. I have Temperature Tuesday to work on my butterflies as a bonus piece, in addition to my main project for the day. Wednesday through Sunday, I'm doing bonus stitching on Knitting Woman, trying to get at least 50 to 60 stitches a day, usually 1 length of thread or finishing a color, depending on how many stitches are in it. I did great this week. I was able to stitch on it every day, Tuesday through Sunday. Yay! And let's see, I don't think it is also on Bringo, but it hasn't been called yet. So there will be one more day, or one day in January here, that will be sometime between now and the 25th. where this will come in for a whole day, which will be really fun. So I got this one. This is by Golden Kite. I'm doing this for my mom. I'm hoping to finish it by November, and I think I can do it if I keep up on it. So today, or this week, was a good week. I'm counting stitches on this one, so I was going to add them up, and I didn't. But let's see, maybe about 400 half stitches. So that's nice. Where is it? So you should actually be able to see a little bit of change this time. So this is on 22 count Aida, 2/1 half stitches. I reached the bottom officially last week, and so this week just filling in more. I am choosing my symbols from typewriter method, top down, left to right. So you'll see there's a lot of this blue skirt is starting, which is really fun. I love those colors. Her little shirtwaist bodice area here is mostly finished now. And so those oranges were sometimes in the hands, mostly down here. I think it's a yarn ball of sorts down here. And a little bit in the face of the cat and her arms and things like that. So there's a few things to look for changes. But yeah, that's pretty fun. So roughly 400 half stitches were finished this week. So that's exciting. And I will hopefully continue to focus on this throughout this coming week as well as bonus stitching, and maybe even for the whole day if it gets called, because the 25th goes into next week. So Bringo will be finished. The last day of Bringo will be next Tuesday. My focus piece on Wednesday was Colors of the Seasons, and this I believe was the last time this was called on Bringo. I had this for 4 days, so I made decent progress on this little winter scene, and hopefully be able to finish this in February. That's my goal. This one was called for number 23, an outdoor activity, which making a snowman is an outdoor activity. This is on the same 27 count Linda that I'm doing the Cat Paws Temperature Wander with me, only I'm doing this 2/2. There are a few fractionals, very few, and there's also a little bit of backstitching. So I went ahead and did 2/2 rather than 1/1, just to make sure everything kind of matched the texture the way it was supposed to. So like his eyes and buttons have some fractionals to make them more roundy. And so yeah, this is how far I've gotten. I did her red mittens, filled in more brown. I don't know if I had that before. The red down here with hearts, and these little bits will be holly, I think, on her dress. So started the word winter down here. Yeah, so that's fun. There's the autumn one finished. And I'm hoping this will be a finish this year, that I'll be able to get to all of them and get that done, because it's just a lovely piece. I really enjoy working on it. Comes together pretty quickly. It's cute. Colors are fun and vibrant. Highly recommend. I'll show this again. It was the Serenita di Campagna. This means Colors of the Seasons 2. There's a second Colors of the Seasons by this artist, designer, that doesn't have little girls. It just has seasonal things like berries and foliage and whatnot. So I liked the little girls though. They're cute. And the next focus piece was Amazing Grace. This was for something with words, I believe. This is the My Big Toe designs that I have edited, altered. Where's my version? I recharted it using backstitch letters to make it smaller and quicker, and then used 3 of their motifs to give it a similar feel, a similar color scheme, but it won't take as long. So I was able to work on this a little bit. I'm using some floss from my stash, and I was able to get a start on the bush as well. So a good amount of letters, and then starting in on the first pot of flowers. So here is this one. I'm doing this 28 count ivory Jobelin 1/1 full crosses in the motifs and one, you know, tiny little letters. It'll be cute, a cute little piece. So I think it's adorable. So it's gonna be pretty small. I feel like maybe 6 or 7 inches wide. Much smaller than the original. So I think it'll be cute. A cuter finish piece as well to be able to gift. So yeah, that's where I got on that one. I got an hour and 40 minutes on that. And I already had the first line to here, so I did all the rest of this words and then that in an hour and 40 minutes. So definitely quicker than the other one would have been. Where is my thing? So this one will come out one more time in January, which will be nice to be able to, I'll get that first verse finished at least and keep working on that first motif. Before, when I was doing the original, I was going to do one verse every month to make sure it was done by June. I want to do at least that much, but this could be like if I do one verse and half of a motif in January, that would be great. If I do more, that's bonus. So we'll see how much I can get done on the next day it's called for Bringo. And Friday is when I finished the Cozy Cafe Club, worked on Knitting Woman, worked on Hummingbird. That was the day I got that one for the smallest whip, I think. I had it here on my Bringo board for smallest whip. And then Saturday, I got to work on grapes for, I think something that was out of season was the prompt on Bringo, because this looks a lot like a summer harvest bounty with grapes and fruit, peaches, grapes, raspberries. So that worked for me for out of season, because right now it's technically winter here. And I got 386 stitches. That's pretty exciting. These are full crosses as well. And I am working in my parked threads. So I got several parked threads worked in, which is super exciting. So this is, as far as I got, I'm not really anywhere near the bottom yet. The first row of pages is complete, and then I don't know, this might be the bottom of the second row of pages. So, but I want all of these gone. So it was kind of killing me to leave this color, but I want to get those parked threads out of the way. This is 18 count Fiddler's Ada, two strands over one block, and lots in here. There's some lighter colors in here for some grapes that are like these light colored grapes. There's some darker bits here, a lot of work done in here. This big chunk used to have a lot of threads. Now there's only a couple left. So that's exciting. I would love to get 1,000 stitches done on this one. I don't know. I might be able to get more than 500 at least, because I already have 386. This was called on a Saturday though. So if it gets called again on a weekday, I might have less opportunity. But I'm trying to think, do I have this again for anything? No, this is no longer on my Bringo board anymore, but I do have it slated for another 3 days at the end of the month, which does include a weekend. So I very well could get 1,000 stitches done on this. So I'm excited. I'm hoping to get all those park threads done. And that one is, I think it's at like 42% complete or something. So potentially, if I finish Knitting Woman this year, that could be my full coverage focus next to get that finished. That would be really fun because it looks pretty cool. And then Sunday, I drew, let's see, Year in Stitches. What day is this? 16, or number 17. something with a bird was the prompt in Bringo. So I pulled out Year in Stitches by the Victoria sampler because there's a couple birds in this one, and there's also little birds all throughout the rest of it. So I figured that works for that, and I wanted another day on this, especially since I was focusing on Cozy Cafe Club. This will be my new travel piece going forward. So I'm hoping to keep up on it, and when I finish a block in the month, I'll move on to like temperature butterflies or finishing up, making sure I'm caught up on Sampler of Stitches or finishing up my fat quarter shop pieces that I'm not done with, things like that. So, but this will be my focused travel piece. I have pulled a variety of fancy floss from my stash that are all just fun. These used to be free on the Facebook group, Victoria Sampler chat group, I believe is what it's called on Facebook. But in 2021, they are not there any longer. They only keep the Mystery Sal open for the year. They have a new one starting now that will go now through April, if you're interested in that. This one will be released one at a time on their website. And so January is out now. I saw it, and I will link it below. It's $5.50 American dollars, US dollars for this part. So if you really, really want this, it is available as PDF download 1 month at a time. Around the middle of the month, they're going to release them, it seems like. So something, including the ones that will be released, they're in their creative designs section because they're not giving you any colors. They're meant to be a exercise in creativity. So you choose your own colors. You want it differently than how they charted it, go for it. Mine, you'll see right off, will be a little different because they used gray for the tree, gray and black for these trees. And I don't know about you, but evergreen trees don't look gray and black to me. And I like that they're still green in the snow. So I went ahead and changed that and used my dark green and light green for these ones. And the little trees that are in my Heirloom Nativity Sampler by the Victoria Sampler have a dark green with light green spots as well as the snow spots. So I did it kind of modeling it after that look because I have two greens I picked, the dark and the light. So where they had the black stitches, I chose light green, and then the rest of the gray stitches of the tree was the dark green, which I chose a highly variegated called Balsam. So here's mine. Without further ado, this is where mine is. This is on Dove Gray Monaco in 28 count, 2/2 most of the time. There are a few elements in here that will be 1/1 as well as some specialty stitches. So I needed a even weave and most of the cross stitches to be 2/2 to make room for those other elements that will be coming later. There's no 1/1 in this block, but there are little elements throughout the rest of it. There's some specialty stitch bands in the sky and some back stitching on the snowman and the pine needles in that tree. So I'm doing that at the end when all the cross stitches are done. All the color is finished now except for the white. So I'm going back through. I did the white up here and on this tree, little snowflakes. So I'll finish, there's a little bit of stitching white around some of the specialty stitches, and then the snowman and this tree and the ground and everything. So once the white is done, then I'll do the back stitching and the specialty stitches. This above the door is charted to say Jan for January, but because there's not really any labels of months in all the rest of them, I'm going to try to chart it to say 2022 as the year that I'm doing this. So that's my plan. But you'll see the trees, I think, look more natural, and I'm pretty happy with that. The brown in there is part of the balsam color that I chose for my dark green. Used balsam from Color and Cotton and Southern Mint by Victoria Motto are the two greens that I chose. So I thought that looked pretty nice. Yeah. Oh, and the little birdies, you can see they're cute. Really tiny. They got some 3/4 stitches to make them, but they're technically done now, so that's kind of fun. So I am hoping to work on this some more in the travel line, valet line and whatnot. So this will probably get a little bit more attention throughout the week. just not any more focus time. I don't believe it's anywhere. It is not on my Bringo board anymore. Last week, the Bringo challenges ended up choosing a lot of the similar ones. This week, it chose a lot of different things. And now this coming week, I have a lot of the same things left on here again. So it'll be more monotonous this coming week, which will be good. It's nice to kind of change it up. I won't know what days I'm working on what, but I'll have, like, I have 2 different days of Daisy Girl, possibly 2 different nativities. I guess it'll still be pretty variety. There will still be a pretty good variety, it seems. Anyways, going forward, I guess yesterday I pulled Sampler of Stitches, which was for a WIP or New Start of my choice. And I chose this one because I wanted to make sure I could stay caught up, because was hoping to work on this every other weekend and do one letter chunk every weekend. But because of Bringo, I couldn't really do that. And so I put it in Bringo at least for one day. Did I do it any other days? Nope, I think it's just the one day. So I should have probably chosen it for more often, but I wasn't sure how long these would take. I do think I need to spend a couple days every other weekend to work on it. City Stitcher here on Flosstube, she's doing them every Sunday, and she's able to stay pretty caught up. So I think it's a similar concept. She's doing one day a week. I'm hopefully doing 2 days every 2 weeks, just so I have some open weekends available for other things. So I got letter A finished. I did a little bit of the A on January 1st. I did the rest of this on Mondays yesterday for main stitching time. Didn't quite get it all done, so I did this box right here this morning to get the A section completely finished, which also allowed me to get a full 3 hours when I included all those times together to count for my daily 30 prompt. So this is the one chart that has A, B, and C, so I did all this so far, and that's exciting. Using all the called for things because this was a gift to me. And so this is 30 count linen. I need to remember what this is called. Custard cream. There's a cat hair. 30 count custard cream linen, 1/2 cross stitches so that it's very airy look. And I did Algerian eyelets. There's an acorn that was really just satin stitching, so that's not the letter A, but it is an acorn. This is an arrowhead stitch in 2 different colors. This is an alternating back stitch and alternating double back stitch, I guess, this pink one. And then inside this box is antique stitch. And this box and the antique stitch was all done in soie pearl. So it's like a small silk pearl. Instead of a pearl cotton, it's a pearl silk. So it was thicker, and that was interesting to work with. I did that this morning. It's a very similar shade to the fabric, but because it's so thick, you can still see it. So yeah, so these are MPI colors that were given to me in the kit. And so it's been fun to work with those. It is weird a little bit working with silk. Silk is a little bit stretchy, which is a little strange compared to cotton. So I have to make sure, definitely don't pull too tight, and I don't know, it's just a little different, but it is nice. It's very smooth. So this is one that I wasn't planning on doing this as travel stitching, but I think I could occasionally if I want to get caught up, and I think I might need to, because I'm hoping, technically I should have the whole ABC done in the month of January, because the very last weekend in January should have been, should be the C weekend. But I'm working on Whip Go and Bring Go and all the things, all the go challenges. So this one didn't get the time I would normally give it. So I may pull that out as travel stitching when my January block of the Year in Stitches gets finished. Or if I finish my Whip Go goal on like grapes or something and I have extra time at the end of the month, I might pull that one out to try to get that finished. So we'll see. Or I'll just get caught up in February. So I also worked on His Name is Jesus on Thursday. I don't know how I missed that. Yeah, it is there. This is by Joyful Expressions, and I'm doing mine in 3 different colors, a navy, a gold, and a red, Victorian motto colors. And I work on this every 2 weeks with Desiree, the Addicted Stitcher. And usually I get one length of floss in while we chit chat, and that's where it's at now. This is on 28 count ivory Lugana, 1/1 full crosses, and I got this side of the H finished. It's a little over, 100 something stitches, 120, 140, something like that. When it's denser stitching like that, I can get that much with one length of thread. It's like a yard of thread, 1/1. So it goes for a long ways. When you do more counting and jumping, when some of these other ones, you don't get quite that many number of stitches. But that's just kind of the way it goes. So this is coming along really well. It's fun to work on every little bit. Continue to see progress. All right, so that's all I worked on. That's a lot of stuff. So it was a fun stitchy week. So this week I'll continue to work on whatever the Bringo board tells me to, and I know what they'll be. I just don't know what order they'll be in. And I will hopefully do a little bit more on my temperature butterflies as a bonus stitching today. I also have that on my Bringo board, so I will at some point here in the next week and a half work on my temperature butterflies as my focus piece for the day. So that'll actually be nice to make sure I get time to finish up January, since I got a little bit of a late start on it. So I guess that's everything. I don't really have any other plans than that. So you saw everything that I can show you now. So I guess I will say goodbye, and here's Smokey again, giving yourself a little bath. Yeah. Oh, do you hear the street sweeper? Yeah, what is that? Oh. Yeah. All right, so with that, I will say goodbye and hope you have a wonderful week working on whatever it is that you have going on, and happy stitching. Bye.